Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react to the greatest down south rapper that never was, Mystikal. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh man, I got an auntie that love Mystikal to death, but she can't support this nigga for the fuckery that he do. But she still gonna rock out to his music though. We gotta do it. We gotta do it.
Police! Police! Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police! Help! He's a terrorist! He's a Shabab! He's an Al-Qaeda!
We gotta do it. Oh man, but anyway, so let's get right into this Mystikal, man. Gotta, yeah. Definitely one of them. He was definitely supposed to be one of the ones, but this man got problems.
Better get ready to rumble! Got to get around like a tumble. Spicy like gumbo. Spice on the bungle. Spice, my mom ain't married, bitch, I'm a bastard. Nigga, I fuck over me. You know what I do to these rappers? I roll them swole like broken arms. But I sure hate when you come around this bitch, I don't know. Talking about what y'all smoking on. Cause nigga like that, we call them hoovers. They trying to get cool with you to smoke your weed up.
Michael Tyler, or Mystikal as he's known to fans,
Mystikal was one of the ones, bro. Don't tell me shit. I think it was one of the ones, bro.
Haven't seen him in a while, but now he's back on the scene, ladies and gentlemen. Mystikal.
Yes. Mystikal was never supposed to blend in. From the very start, he didn't just rap, he attacked the mic. Born Michael Lawrence Tyler in New Orleans, the same city that gave us Cash Money and No Limit, Mystikal had a voice that sounded like an explosion in a recording booth. His delivery wasn't smooth like Jay-Z's, it wasn't melodic like Outkast's. It was a full-on verbal assault, raspy and unpredictable, almost like a mix of James Brown and Busta Rhymes, but with the level of street energy that nobody else could match. But what happened to him was heartbreaking for his fans. Today, we're diving into the story of the greatest Southern rapper that never was. So stay tuned, and don't forget to hit subscribe. His career started in 1994, signing with Big Boy Records, an independent label in New Orleans. Back then, the Southern rap scene was still fighting for respect, and Mystikal wasn't the type to play it safe. He immediately got into beef with local rappers like UNLV.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you motherfuckers 3 things I'm gonna never do. 1, I'm gonna never change my style. 2, I'm never gonna bounce. 3, never gonna bow.
He dissed us. And it wasn't the fact that he dissed us. What a lot of people don't know is, you know, he came to me and he asked about it before he...
And even took shots at a young Lil Wayne, proving he wasn't intimidated by anyone, not even New Orleans royalty. That energy caught the attention of Master P, the CEO of No Limit Records, who was in the process of building one of the biggest rap empires of the 90s. At the time, No Limit was unstoppable. They were dropping albums every month, and every project had the infamous gold tank logo stamped on the cover. But Mystikal wasn't just another soldier in the No Limit army. He was their secret weapon. By 1997, Mystikal was ready to prove he was more than just an exciting voice. He was a hit maker. His No Limit debut, Unpredictable, did exactly what the title promised. It went platinum, and suddenly, he wasn't just another name in the lineup. He was a headliner.
You know what you did was despicable. I'm sick of you. They call me Mystikal because I'm unpredictable. I said what they thought that I wasn't gonna sing, and I did what they thought that I wasn't gonna do. I knew what they would and I want me to do.
Unlike most No Limit artists, who relied on the label's trademark dark, military-style production, Mystikal's music was faster, louder, and more dynamic. Then came Ghetto Fabulous in 1998, and this was the album that made it clear Mystikal was a different beast. It dropped at the absolute peak of No Limit success, when Master P had Snoop Dogg, Silk the Shocker, and C Murder all in the mix. The album...
You could miss me with Silk the Shocker. You ain't had to bring him. You could have said anybody else but Silk the Shocker. You could have said Mac. You could have said Fiend. You could have said, come on, dog. There's so many more people than Silk the Shocker. Come on, bro. You could have said anybody else but Silk the Shocker. Come on now.
Featured huge collaborations and once again with platinum. But here's the thing, it wasn't just about the numbers. Mystical was starting to overshadow his label mates. That's what made him different. That's what made him special.
Bring it up, chop it up, cut it up, tuck it in, take the fill out, roll it up. Light it, hit it, hold it, fast, pop, blow it up.
But there was a downside to being different. It created tension. Master P was running a machine, and Mystical wasn't built to just be another gear in that system. He wanted more. He wanted full creative control. And by the late 90s, he realized something. He didn't need No Limit anymore. So he made the move. He left No Limit at a time when walking away from Master P's empire was considered career suicide.
I did not leave No Limit. Let's set the fucking record straight. No Limit left me, man. I showed up for work and looked around there, boxes and shit there. They ain't here no more.
Most artists who left No Limit vanished into obscurity. But Mystical, he did the unthinkable. He went solo, and not only did he survive, but he went on to have the biggest years of his career. By the time 2000 rolled around, Mystical had fully stepped into his own spotlight. His first post-No Limit album, Let's Get Ready, was released on September 26, 2000, under Jive Records. And this wasn't just another Southern rap album, it was a statement. The production was sharper, the sound was cleaner, and Mystical was fully in control of his artistic direction. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, selling over 330 copies in its first week, something no other No Limit artist had done after leaving the label. Then came the breakout moment. Shake Your Ass, produced by the Neptunes, dropped as the album's lead single, and it was nothing short of a cultural explosion.
Boy, you want to talk about a motherfucking bop that had the streets on lock? God damn. Had the motherfucking streets on lock. Everywhere you went, everywhere you go, this song was playing. This song was undeniable. Ain't no way around it. Y'all players pimps right now. I'm in the place to be. I thought I told y'all niggas before. Y'all niggas can't mess with me. That shit went crazy.
Released on July 18th, 2000, the track was a completely new sound for Mystical, sleek, funky, and driven by the Neptune's signature futuristic production. The song peaked at number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 7 on the Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs chart. More importantly, it took Mystical beyond the streets and straight into mainstream pop culture.
Shake your ass, but watch yourself. Shake your ass, show me what you're working with. Shake your ass, but watch yourself. Shake your ass.
For the first time, Mystical was on MTV, in heavy rotation on TRL, Total Request Live, and on radio stations that never touched Southern rap before. The song was everywhere, from movie soundtracks to video games like Grand Theft Auto 3. Pharrell's hooks and Mystical's explosive delivery created the track so infectious that it crossed over into suburban America, something few Southern rappers had done before. And it didn't stop there. The second single, Danger, Been So Long, featuring R&B singer Nivea, dropped on October 2000 and climbed to number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100. If Shake Your Ass was Mystical's introduction to the mainstream, Danger proved he wasn't a one-hit wonder. His voice, his energy, it was undeniable. Mystical was no longer just a Southern rapper. He was an A-list hip-hop star.
Danger! Get on the floor!
By 2001, Mystical had already established himself as a top-tier artist, and he wasn't slowing down. On December 18th, 2000, he released Tarantula, another high-energy album that only solidified his dominance. The album's title track was another Neptunes-produced banger, and it featured a raw, even more aggressive Mystical. He was no longer just a rapper, he was a performer. Tarantula wasn't just a commercial success, it earned Mystical something most Southern rappers never got at the time: Grammy recognition. In 2002, he was nominated for 2 Grammy Awards, Best Rap Album, Tarantula, and Best Male Rap Solo Performance, Bouncing Back, Bumping Me Against the Wall.
I learn from you just like you learn from me. I bleed, I pray for peace and perfect harmony. Keep on rapping, stop that tripping, ain't gonna happen.
This was huge, because back then, Grammy nominations weren't handed out to every rapper with a hit song. At this point, the only Southern artists getting that kind of recognition were Outkast and Missy Elliott. At his peak, Mystical was bigger than Ludacris, bigger than T.I., bigger than Lil Wayne. His music was being
Well, duh, he been around since the 90s. I'm pretty sure he would be more established. He been around since the fucking 90s. Of course he would be more. What type of argument is that?
He played in clubs, commercials, movies, and even TV sitcoms. He even landed roles in Hollywood, appearing in 13 Dead Men, 2003, and Mac and Devin Go to High School, 2002, along with Snoop Dogg.
You can't smoke in here, young man.
Hey, don't worry about it, baby. I got a medical condition.
Mystikal was an entire brand at this point.
When was he in this movie? I don't even remember him being in that movie. He probably was. I don't know. Probably had like a short scene or something. I do not remember Mystikal in that fucking movie. Fuck out of here.
And the industry was watching. But just as it seemed like he was about to cement himself as the king of the South, everything collapsed overnight. On January 15th, 2004, Mystikal was sentenced to 6 years in prison for sexual battery and extortion, a career-ending bombshell that left fans, industry insiders, and fellow artists stunned. This wasn't a case of bad business deals or rap beef gone wrong. This was a violent crime that wiped out everything he had built. The details were brutal. In July 2002, Mystikal accused his hairstylist of stealing $80,000 in checks from him. But instead of handing it legally, he and his bodyguards forced her to perform sexual acts on them while they recorded it on tape. When the authorities got their hands on the videotape, the case was open and shut. There was no defense. He was arrested on July 18, 2002 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and after pleading guilty in 2003, he was sentenced the following year. Two of his bodyguards were also convicted in the case, but Mystikal took the biggest hit. Prosecutors weren't playing games. This wasn't some celebrity slap on the wrist sentence. He got 6 years. No early release, no industry favors. It was over. While Mystikal was sitting in L.A. and Hunt Correctional Center, the rap game moved on without him. Lil Wayne took over as the new face of Southern rap, dropping The Carter in 2004 and The Carter II in 2005, setting himself up as the king. T.I. went mainstream with Urban Legend, 2004.
You don't know. You might have seen me in the street, but shout it, you don't know. When you holler, when you speak, remember you don't know.
Ludacris kept dominating with The Red Light District in 2004. Meanwhile, Mystikal was completely removed from the conversation. There was no mixtape grind, no guest verses, no interviews, just silence. His name, once at the top of the charts, was now associated with one of the ugliest scandals in hip-hop. By the time Mystikal walked out of prison on January 14th, 2010, after serving 6 years, the world wasn't the same place he left behind. In 2004, when he went in, he was one of the biggest rappers alive, nominated for Grammys, topping Billboard.
I wouldn't say the biggest, but he was still relevant. He was still relevant. That's what you could say. He was still relevant. But the biggest, that's a little bit of a stretch.
And headlining shows. By 2010, the landscape had completely shifted. Lil Wayne was now the undisputed king of hip-hop. He had dropped The Carter III in 2008, selling over 1 million copies in a week, a feat unheard of in the digital era. The industry wasn't waiting for Mystikal anymore. There were new stars running the game. Drake, Nicki Minaj, Rick Ross.
We didn't need this song, bro. We didn't need it. I hate this song, by the way. I hate this song, but we didn't need this, bro.
And even younger artists like J. Cole were already establishing themselves. Mystikal's biggest fans had grown up, moved on, and the younger generation barely knew who he was. Still, Birdman saw potential. In 2011, Mystikal signed with Cash Money Records, hoping to restart his career under the label that it now
completed the complete trifecta. This man went from Big Boy Records to No Limit Records to Cash Money Records. He completed the complete trifecta, bro. That's crazy. He the only person ever. I think he the only rapper from Louisiana to be on all three major New Orleans record labels. He the only one to ever do it.
Surpassed No Limit. The logic made sense. Lil Wayne had turned Cash Money into an empire, with Young Money producing massive superstars like Drake and Nicki Minaj. If Mystikal could fit into that mix, he had a shot. The first real test came on December 12, 2011, when he dropped Original, featuring Birdman and Lil Wayne. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't special either. Mystikal flow still had energy, but the industry had changed. The beats were different, the cadences were different, and the way fans consumed music was different. He tried again with Hit Me in 2012.
Can't pass the people, can't pass the hit me. That was me that you missed. I'm the one you.
I think he could have still made an impact if he had moved in, if he had updated his beat selection, bro. If Mystical updated his beat selection a little bit more, I think Mystical could have still put out some hits, bro. The early 2010s, you could still the 2090 rappers still could be relevant. You just had to update your sound a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, like if he would have did that, I'm pretty sure he would have still made it in his era. His flow, he was still unique. His flow was still unique. Ain't nobody really matched his energy. Like surprisingly, to this day, nobody has matched that man's energy on records. It's just gotta update your sound a little bit with the beat selection.
Been missing and wishing for less.
Hoping to recapture the raw intensity that made him a star. But by then, the reality was clear. The industry had moved on. Mystical had respect. Nobody denied his talent. But respect didn't translate into streams, album sales, or concert bookings.
Nigga was screaming, free him, free him. They probably want to kill him. I was going for what them who said, bitch, did you see him?
In May 2012, just when it seemed like Mystical was getting a second chance, he was sent back to jail for violating probation. He had been arrested on a domestic battery charge and sentenced to 3 months behind bars. But that was just the beginning. In August 2017, Mystical was arrested for rape and kidnapping in Shreveport, Louisiana. The allegations were severe. A woman claimed he and an associate had sexually assaulted her at a casino. He turned himself in and was held on $3 million bond, a price so high it was clear the court didn't want him walking free. The damage was instant. The little industry support he had left evaporated overnight. Cash Money didn't come to his defense, but the worst was yet to come. In July 2022, Mystical was arrested once again, this time on charges of rape, domestic abuse, false imprisonment, and robbery. The details were shocking. The alleged victim claimed Mystical accused her of stealing money from him, beat her, and sexually assaulted her at his home in Prairieville, Louisiana. There was no comeback story, no redemption arc. He had gone from Grammy-nominated superstar to a name that nobody wanted to be associated with. But if Mystical had never gone to prison in 2004, everything would have been different. But it all ends with a big what if. And if you've made it this far, hit subscribe, because we've got even more shocking stories coming your way next week. You won't want to miss what's next.
Alrighty, wait, whoa, hey, whoa. No, go back.
Better get ready to rumble.
Alright, can you stop, please stop. Thank you very much, Mystical. We don't need no more from you. But anyways, though, yeah, man, it's just gonna about do it, man. You know, it is what it is, man. Just at the top of the game, and then you got to do something stupid.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
And you get your ass sent to jail. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. What a waste of a career, man. Just so much potential, so many potential hits that could have probably came out. Cause Mystical is one of them dudes. He could have went to the 2010. I'd probably say to the early 2010s with a good resume of hits. He could have, but he did it to himself, bro. And ain't nobody else to blame but him. He got to sit there and deal with that. He on his own with that one. But anyways, though, that's just going to about do it for this one, man. I will see you all in the next video. Till then, peace out.